నాతో బాగుంటావు బాగా మా
Hello.
Yes, Vinay.
Hello.
We
About the last
are
session,
unable
we
to
were
see
discussing
the.
about the soap and rest.
Okay. We have done a training on soap and rest. Go ahead, Vinay.
Simple and rest, and with the soap and rest, we were dealing with that XML files.
Okay. Were you introduced to the variables?
Yes, sir.
Were you introduced to the variables? System?
No, sir. The class was not. I didn't attend the class.
Okay, fine. Yes, Satya. Good morning, Satya. Okay. Jabin, could you please give me a quick recap of last session? Parvez, is my audio audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, can you give me a quick recap of the last session?
Sorry, I was absent for
Okay.
last session.
So, the session which you attended was on what?
On what, like the creating the bots, I think so, the last one.
Okay. Let me give you a quick recap. In last session, we have started working on different data migration possibilities. Okay, this is where we actually get in touch with different features of automation anywhere. Okay, please interrupt me whenever and wherever you have any doubts. Hope your installations are done already. Hope everybody's installation is done. So I have given, make sure whatever is taught in the class, you practice it. Okay, if the installation is not done, please reach on to this number and get the installation done. This is in Amirpet, Hyderabad. You can make a call to this guy after 11 to 5 a.m. IST, Monday to Saturday. He is available. You can get the installation done. Yeah. So once you install the application, we have two things here. One is control room and you have automation anywhere. Okay. We have automation anywhere enterprise client and control room. So once you make your database connection, this is where you go ahead and start connecting to the database. I have bookmarked my application. Let's log into the application first. Today we'll be seeing different features of automation anywhere. So it is coming with 30-day trial, the current version. So under automate, we have a task. Okay, so I have introduced you through the folder structure and different recorders which are available on automation anywhere. So our journey starts with new. We have smart recorder, screen recorder and web recorder. These are the three recording options which are there in automation anywhere. Smart recorder is used for the applications which are installed on your machine and enabled. So once you click the smart recorder, it will immediately show you the applications which are active on your machine. So like I have this recording manager as an option, which is as a software which is available to me. I can just say start. So once I say start, so it is actually taking care of, it is actually pulling me this particular application. So whatever actions I perform on this will be captured as actions. Okay. So however, I would like to mention one point here. In Automation Anywhere, our entire journey got closed. Entire journey starts with task editor. Okay, that's the practice what we follow in an organization. Okay, so task editor. So in production, in real time, we'll be working on task editor. We'll try not to use these recording features, though they are available there. The reason is these recording features are more of keyboard and mouse driven events, which are not reliable. Okay, but understand that they are just there. However, in Automation Anywhere, our main idea would be to learn these commands and build our logic using these commands, automation logic using these commands. And these commands are nothing but called actions. And here you have your actions list, which is a sequential order in which your automation is performed. So last class we have seen soap and rest services. I mean to say to consume, how to consume soap and rest services. Okay. However, let me draw some common things, or let me call it as the approach when you follow Automation Anywhere. What is the type of approach you have to follow, and how exactly you have to use your commands in real time. So for those who have not attended soap and rest session, I am adding the additional videos on the drive, but you can have this video in soap and rest service. It is an elaborate discussion on how exactly we use soap and rest, how exactly we consume soap and rest. Now, when it comes to the development environment, this is how it looks. So let me help you with different options here. So the moment we get a task, then we split the task into smaller tasks and see what actions have to be performed to automate that particular task. As I have been telling you earlier, that our interest is not in the application, our interest is in the automation. Our interest is in the person who is doing the automation. So we need to mimic his actions in this area. So that exactly means that we are creating a bot which is having the skills of a human who is working on that software applications. So when we say that, we should have something handy wherein we can create logic like human being. So let's come to the variable manager. Hope I have shown you the screen. We have different types of variables here. We have system variables, which can be accessed from this button. I'm sorry. Here, Automation Anywhere has defined pre-built variables for you, which work on various categories like date, time, loop, Excel, email, trigger, PDF, and system. So I would recommend you to, once your installation is done, please go through these system variables. Okay. So it has given different options here which can be used in your logic. So if at all your variables are not handy, I mean to say you don't find a variable suits your requirement for automation, what you have to do is you have to go and create your own variables. Okay. So the variables are of two types, local variables and system variables. This is where we build, by using these variables, we build our logic. So I'm introducing you these two things. Let's say I create a local variable. So I can create a local variable. Local variable is available only to the particular task which you are created. I mean, new task one has some local variables created. Those variables are not available for the next task. So there's no concept of global variables in automation anywhere. In this case, variables are of three types. You can allocate, you have value type variable, list type variable, and array type variable, and also random variable. Let's see what exactly each variable means. Let's start creating a value type variable. I would just say um, uh, token. Okay. Let's say you're doing a handshake between a secured application, then that application would require a token exchange. I mean to say, when you're calling a service, then the handshake happens over a token. So the token might be like your password, okay, which might come to you as a base 64 hash code. So since token has a single value, you are calling it as a value type variable. You can, if at all your logic has the characters from your regular expression, you can check this box for more information on regular expressions. How many of you know what are regular expressions? I would recommend you to go to this place. Regular expressions are used to extract, find, separate, combine two different strings. They are very handy for our programmers. So just go to W3 School's regular expression. It has a detailed list of commands which programmers use while building their logic. So regular expressions look like this. Okay. So these help to extract data from a running text. Running text in the sense, you might have your string, something like this. Okay, it's a HTML document, and your interest is to retrieve some data which is existing in these tags. Let's say I just want to extract only this text out of the entire document. So in such case, we use regular expressions. So regular expressions will help you to filter the entire data and retrieve only this particular text. Okay. So if you think that your expression has some uh, regular expression characters, then we tell automation anywhere that whatever value we are passing might have the special character. So that's how it is. So background for this is, see, in our coding world, let's say you have two backslashes, then the code which is written after that is ignored. I mean to say, so whatever code you write, if you have two backslashes, let's say I have a simple piece of code here, and I have two backslashes here. Hope you can see my screen. There's some issue. Yeah. So if I have two backslashes before my logic, the entire logic or the line of code is ignored. Okay, so we should be really careful in allocating variables to different uh, uh, different what do you say, names. So I just save my variable here as a token. You can see that I have my variable name. Once you create, you can definitely go and do all that edit, delete options. So I have created a local variable token, which is of value type. Once I create the variable. I can come and access the variable in entire list of commands wherever I have text input as an option. For instance, yeah, Jabin, we'll be seeing it in action now. So let's say I have something like I just want to log the variable to a file. So I'll just take some reference on my desktop. So I'll just say I take this document itself and see, and in my automation logic, I'm trying to pull the variable, whichever variable you have created here. You can actually call the variable into your application logic, and I just say save. Okay, I can name. So log to file is a command. So I will say log to file. Just say save. Save this. It is on desktop, and I'll just say run. So this value is now going into this particular document. After this, we'll do one real-time scenario where you will be able to understand the purpose of variables. So it has logged the value onto my file. Okay, so see this value. So the value is coming from Automation Anywhere. Okay, this is how we use variables based on our requirement. So to elaborate on the real-time applications, okay, we will do one particular example so that you'll be clear in how to use your variables. In automation, you should be solution driven. I mean to say your application, whatever application logic you're trying to build, you should be solution driven. So for that, we will be using different features which are available in Automation Anywhere. So whenever you have time today or tomorrow, please go through each one of these commands and just double click on each one of these commands. So it opens a pop-up window and try to see what options are there in that particular window. So that you will quickly be able to map your automation requirement to these commands. So we have to pass parameters to these commands, and these commands will be like actions in your task action list. So let me take a typical scenario wherein now I have shown you that we can create value type variables. So how value type variables will be used in real time scenarios. So we'll try to learn that now. I have seen my problem statement is something like this. First I will explain the problem, then we'll find a solution for that problem. While I was searching for, in my initial days of Automation Anywhere, I was searching for examples on Automation Anywhere which are available on web. For instance, it's a general keyword search. So I was doing this random search and I found that I can see here, understand the problem statement. These are the initial days of Automation Anywhere 8.0, wherein they used to publish different examples onto web. Now they are popular product. They don't do this anymore, but somehow they have forgotten this URL which exists there on their server. If you see here, I have something called t82.atmx. So t82.atmx, if I just copy the link address and paste it in my second window, I see that there is a TATMX file which is downloaded. So I go to focus on the problem statement. So I have a T82 file. I'll just copy this, go to my Automation Anywhere, Automation Anywhere client, and I see there's a folder called practice. I'll just say paste it here. So this is under my documents, Automation Anywhere client. So I'll just refresh it. Now this T82, all automation files end with .atmx extension. I'll just say right click and say edit. It should open it in my task editor. Say this. So Automation Anywhere itself has given an example to learn more, to learn the features of the platform. Okay. So it is available from the web itself. Okay. So now I had an idea, like I tried to inspect the URL. When I tried to inspect the URL, I found something in common. Let us say there are, observe this URL, automationanywhere.com, media, task files, T82. So here I tried to change this number. I'm into 72. So I saw that, yeah, so 72 is also downloaded. That means that Automation Anywhere has at least 72 examples published on web which can be downloaded to my local machine so that I can learn more about this platform by looking at this examples. Isn't it so? So I see that I observed this pattern over a random search. So automation tasks are defined like this. These are like use cases. So I need a bot which can download all these files onto my local machine so that it is available for further training. However, I need to build logic to download this file. So it might have some problems here, like the problems what I saw was, I'm just taking a typical scenario where you can use variables to general purpose automation. So when I do this T1.atmx, it says it's a bad request. I mean to say 404. You get a 404. 404 is like the client side error. You're requesting a URL which is not existing, or you're requesting a file which is not existing on their server. So actually they have a prefix like this. So it starts like this. So it goes till 9 and then 10, 11, 12 and follow up. Okay. All these are examples. So advantages, I just go there, copy them, go to my practice folder, just paste them. Okay. And now I can go ahead and start editing these files. I can say open, go to, or you can directly open from this place. Okay. Yeah, this is some other example. So now let's write. So hope all of you have understood the problem statement. So we go ahead and start writing the problem statement. So the first question is, what is that you want to automate? So can anybody explain my problem? I would say I want to download all examples, all rather say AA examples, which are one or two files. You can do it more manually, but 82 files, you definitely require automation, which are available. So that was the question. What is that you want to automate? I want to automate the download process of all automation anywhere examples which are available to me on web. Okay, so you are extracting data from web so that going forward you will use those examples to enhance your knowledge. So what approach should I follow here and how exactly I try to build my logic is today's topic. So I try to think uh, about the process at a granular level so that I don't make any mistakes. So my intention is to tell the Automation Anywhere platform to come to this particular link and download those files onto my local drive. So first thing is in automation, we need to prepare the environment. I mean to say whether it is local or on web, we need to prepare the environment. I just need create a folder called AA examples. Okay. So I'm expecting Automation Anywhere to download all the files from web in real time to this particular folder. So I have to start making my request. So here, if I see in my Automation Anywhere, I have different options. In under web recorder command, if you open the web recorder command, because basically web recorder command is used to interact and perform multiple operations on browser. So my requirement on the browser as of now is to download a file. Okay, wherein I can give the download file URL like this. I didn't select it. Go ahead and just copy the link. I just copied the link and go ahead to the desktop where you want to save the file. Okay. I would want to save it as t.1.atmx. Yeah, whatever. I just save it. So this is my download path. This is my folder path. So I just save the application. So this is the action which I wanted to perform. I just save them and I would say AA underscore examples. I just save it and run it. My action has been successfully performed and I go ahead and see that I have a .atmx file which is saved from web. This is downloaded using this command. Okay, I'm happy here. Going forward, I would want to iterate this process by dynamically changing the download file path name in real time. Hope you guys are understanding. So I'm successful in doing the first step, but I want a logic wherein I am iterating the same process multiple times so that Automation Anywhere will bring in all the files from web to my local drive. So see how we start the problem. Here, see, this is the baseline of the problem. The second level of the problem is I want the same process to be iterated. So I want the support of variables. Okay. I want to use the concept of variables in my automation logic. So I observe here that my requirements are something like this. I will say this is the question and this is the answer. So to do that answer, what are my requirements on AA? AA is automation anywhere. I mean to say, I want to know which commands in AA will support my automation logic. So this is the first question. Use cases can be many. This is the first question you should ask yourself. So once you are clear about your answer, you should start searching for your requirement in the commands in automation anywhere. I mean to say, you should, once you are clear with the requirement, you should come here and search for the different commands which might support your purpose. Okay. There can be many ways to do the same task. However, we'll try to use the best possible methodology to automate that task. Hope it is clear till now. So once I'm clear about my problem statement, I come here and see if there is a command which exists which can support my automation anywhere logic or automation logic. If it doesn't exist, then we declare it as that this particular automation cannot be done using automation anywhere. We have to use some third-party system support. Hope you are clear now. Now, that would be your first question. Second question is, what variables do I use? I mean to say, in automation anywhere, I have told you that we have system variables. If your purpose is not met in system variables, then we go ahead and create local variables. Okay, local variables are customized variables which you create based on your requirement. Okay. Having said that, that would be my second question. Third question would be, does my automation require conditions? Is my automation logic having some conditions? This is the third question which you should be asking. So let it be any automation task. You can go. We'll be using only this three-step process so that we don't make any mistakes. So first question is, what is your problem? Second, you should answer your problem. I want to download all AA examples in general English. And third question is, what are my requirements on AA? Which commands? Commands are nothing but the actions which will become actions when you pass proper arguments onto automation anywhere. And second is, what variables do I use? And third question is, does automation requires conditions? So here, there is a possibility that you might face some problems in understanding the application logic. So you have to create a human versus bot table, or it's a matrix. For instance, I will say, I want to automate, let us say, in a human way. And now, automation anywhere should do the same task in bot. How does a bot do the same task? So the purpose here, so here I should be writing all the points, like, so if human wants to do that, I just go to the URL and just say enter. Okay. and repeat the same process till you don't find the final path. What I mean to say is, in automation, see, I found that here. So till what number can I go max so that I fail? I mean to say, so that I catch this error. So I should be repeating this task till I go to I get a 404 command, 404 error code. So I can say, so I have observed this pattern. So you can come with different use cases. Establishing secure connection. Okay, so still it is a content is not available. So this is some repeated thing which is coming. So once my download link fails, I should get a 404 message. Okay, so like this we inspect our problem. I will do something like this: 82, 83. I don't think even 83 exists. 83 is not existing. See how, so probably yeah, 82 exists. So that means it has 82 examples which are available, which start from 01 to 82. Okay, 83.atmx is failing just because I understood this pattern. So that means your bot should also do an activity wherein it should come till 82 and then make a request with 83 and then capture the 404 error and stop the iteration. So should go back to your page, and here this is the human way. So final path is justified by inspecting. You generally do the activity, what activity I did there. So it requires inspection like how we did, and concluded that it can be done only till 82. Now you should repeat, as I said, automation journey. In the entire automation journey, our intention will be to mimic the human. Okay, this bot is the script which you are trying to create now. Now the first step is to search for a command which will go to URL and download that file. Did we achieve that level of success? I would say yes. See, I have a command called download file, which is under web recorder, which is helping me, which is asking me the landing URL and the directory path, and successfully doing my event. So I am through my first way. I mean, first, I would say I will use download file command to do this step. Okay, so please observe who is the guide to you. It is you itself. So you should always try to write the human way and then mimic the same thing in bot way. Let it be any task. I am not interested to explain you this particular solution, but I am more interested in the process. Okay, so we'll learn our course by doing examples rather than learning the commands. Commands can be learned. Okay, so the second step is to repeat the same process. So to repeat the same process, what options do I have in automation anyway? What do I exactly mean by repeat? I want my automation anywhere to actually build these URLs in a dynamic way. So obviously we have two options here. One thing is I cannot hard code this particular URL. It has to change in a dynamic way. So that is when I take the help of system variables. So now see how we are drilling down the requirement. So to automate this, I need to go to system variables and check if if there is a if there is a variable which will help me to do such repetitive task. So I come here under loop. Of course, I will go to the loop. The reason is I want to iterate some process. Iteration happens on loop itself. Okay. So I see different commands or different, what do you say, variables which are available here. I come here, see something called counter. Counter is, see what is its purpose. It is a name is counter and it returns an integer value. It is used in loop and returns the current count value. Counter is nothing but if you come from programming background, it is in if else loop you do I plus plus an increment. So let us say we are looping over 10, we are looping over 10 times. So each time I'm looping, there is a step up. Like the first loop will consider the counter as value 1. Second time when it is iterated, it will be 2. So we'll see in option. Fortunately, we found this in our first encounter. So I think counter is the most suitable variable which I can use for automation. So this is one thing. So I will use counter. The second thing is, if I come here and see, I'm not interested in keeping such long URLs. I mean to say, it's a really long URL. No harm in doing it. However, since I am repeating it continuously, I would want to save this path as a variable. First, let us do it normally and then see how we can do that. So I'll go ahead and say it's a value. What kind of variable it is? I will just say copy here, paste here, and just say save. So I have my AA path saved here. Now I go and see how I use the variable. So wherever you have text input box, you need to press F2 to insert a variable. I found the counter is the one, so I will just say F2. I get my counter variable. So I have the counter variable and try to inspect this particular URL. So to repeat the process, I will build a dynamic URL or download path, which is this. Okay, wherein this particular thing will create new variables, new values every time the loop is created. And the third thing is I will iterate this process by using loops. It is very simple, guys. I mean to say let it be any automation requirement. I would say with 100% confidence that if you use these 3-step process, you will never fail. I mean to say you will never get confused. Let it be any task. Let it be any task under Microsoft robotic process. Any application which is installed on Windows software can be automated using automation anywhere. It can come from your wildest and wildest of dreams. However, there will be confusions. So to eliminate those confusions, please follow this best practice. Just jot down the human way and the bot way. write what processes you want to automate in crystal clear clarity, and try to mimic it in the bot way. So that's how it is. Now let's see this in action. So I have successfully created the application path. Now I have to save that to the local file directory wherein I have a file here. I just delete this. So I keep the folder empty. Okay. Sorry, by mistake I've done it. Would have downloaded. No problem. So I would like this same file name for my download path URL. So I have built my automation logic. It's a single line of action. So to do iteration, so as I said, I will use loops. So loops are a command in automation anywhere where I can go to loops. Tomorrow's exercise, please go to each one of these options and see what exactly are your subcommands. This is the main command called loop. These are all called subcommands. So I have a looping option where I can loop over times. Times is like number of times you want to loop. I would want to hard code this to 9 as of now. I'll tell you the problem in some time. I just say 9 times and I drag my command inside automation anywhere. Hope it is clear till now. So once you do this, I would want to see this process in action. So I would enable debugging mode, which is a regular standard in programming. So just enable this. So once you click on this enable, it gives you the variables watch list. Okay. So it will tell you which variable is assigned what value in runtime. So I would see, since I am working with this, once you click on add, I have all the variables listed here. I just need to add. So I want to watch this counter in runtime. So now, after I write my logic, I should cross check once if it is meeting my requirement. Okay, requirement is I want to download all AA examples which are available. So understand the problems here. Problems here are like, see, this is a random thing which you got. In no way that you can dictate this automation anywhere to reframe the download paths. We have to build our automation logic based on what is available. So you cannot change the task. Task cannot be changed. You have to change your strategy to actually download it. I'll just run this. I will say A examples. I'll just say run this. So now see what happens. Observe this counter value. So counter is being updated every time. So it has successfully done my automation. You can go ahead and see that these files are created. Till here, if anybody has a question, please ask. Jobin, I guess you have understood the purpose of variables now? You don't have mic, fine. Parvez, Chandu, Vinay, anything you did not follow? Venkat Reddy. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. See here, I don't want you to learn how to download a file from web. That anybody can do. Anybody can do. After a little practice of these commands, anybody can do. But please pay attention with the process. Okay. Going forward, anything we do in automation, we'll be following, asking these questions to ourselves. Okay. It's a very simple, handy method to analyze. So now let us try to go to the next level of the problem, which I found. See, basic inspection is required after you inspect. See, till 09, my application logic will work. I will say 09, it doesn't have any problem in downloading. My application, that is the reason why I have taken 9 as number. Okay. So here I have some issue again. Like let us say I use the same application path to iterate over 10 times. When I do that, what will happen is in this place of 9, I will have a number like this. So which will be faulty URL. It will say 404. Understood the problem? So I cannot use 9 times. So how do I tell automation in anywhere to build a logic by telling that? So till here you use this URL. After this, you go ahead and do something else. Okay. Hope problem statement is clear. This is a sub problem of the basic problem. I want to download all 82 files. However, the problem what I'm facing here is if I'm using counter as a variable, then counter will do a step up function every time, but after 9 my application URL path is faulty. So in such cases, in automation anywhere, while looping, you also can pass conditions by using if-else statements. So today I am introducing you the loop command and if-else command in combination with variables. So if-else works on uh, multiple subcommands. However, what I want to say, why under if else you have so many, what is the relationship between file date and file size? What is the relationship between file date and folder exists, but they are all in one place? Please understand the intention of this tool. While grouping all this in one category, automation anywhere thought, if at all you use this conditioning, you would possibly do using these situations. So probably in higher versions of automation anywhere, you will see more of these options. So that's how it is. So in if else command, I have the variable because I want my application logic is stuck with that particular variable itself. So I would go ahead and start. So I would want a scenario wherein I'll just take some examples like 25. I mean, it can be 82 as well. And just say save. And I'm sure my automation logic will fail after 09. So I come here, okay, there's no problem here, but I would want to do something with a variable by building a condition. So the variable which I'm working here, see wherever you have a text input box, just press F2, you will access your variable. So I have my counter variable, which is a system variable, and I want to tell some condition here. So I will tell that iterate through this variable till 09, because I want to do something till 09. I will say less than 10, do something, and I just save. So if you see, if counter less than 10, use this logic, this way to download the file. Okay, so it will have no complaints till it is 09. 010, it will have a complaint. And I will say else, I would say else, do something else. I will just copy this Paste this. It's a very simple construct. After 10, I don't want this 0 prefix. I don't want this. This is how we do it in real time. And I would want to watch it again. See how. So understood, right? I want to build some condition here like 09. Till 09 use this. After that you use this. So let's save and run. See what happens. So you see that as they are getting created, you are seeing, observe what is happening after 9. It is going to the line number 7 instead of line number 5. So that's how you bring control to your logic. So today's scenario, hope you have understood that, the purpose of variables and the approach for automation. So we have built a matrix wherein we have human way and bot way. So in human way, same actions to be repeated in a bot way. So that's how. So yeah, it can be 82 as well. It can be 82 or 100. So while you can go for a cup of coffee, the bot will work for you and it will download all the examples. So now I have a repository of examples. So most of you might have questions like what exactly we do in automation, how does a bot look like and all that. Now you have 85 standard examples wherein you can practice from. So I just paste. See, now they are available to you in automation anyway. So this is the essence of automation. It helps, it makes our life easy by being more logical. So see, there's some if command and all. Guys, is it clear? Like, I mean, have any questions? Please go by the process, not by, see, going forward in another 1 week, you'll be really have hands-on experience in using this different options in automation anywhere. So wherever, but I would want you to focus on the process part. So like this, we will have many options, many use cases. You can also think about the wildest thing, it will be available to you. You can automate anything, literally anything on Windows platform. So good to go. I mean, any questions till now? If you have any questions, please ask. Parvez. So a simple 9-line code is automating the download process. Satya, Venkat Reddy, Vinay, anybody has a question? Either two things might have happened. Either you have understood everything or you did not follow it at all. Yeah. Please ask. Don't hesitate to ask any question. Are we good to go?
Understood, sir. Understood, sir.
Yeah. Parvez, is it fine? You didn't follow.
Yeah, okay. If I have any doubts, I will ask you tomorrow, sir.
Okay, fine. Good. So this is how we build our automation logic. I'll just create a problem statement for you tomorrow and then close the session. So now you saw that we are automating after we got this URL. After we got this URL. Okay, now I want to go a step ahead and retrieve the URL from web itself. Once I get the URL, I've started my automation journey. But now I want this URL to be searched. So I will write one more problem statement. Would be, how do I, or I would say, need to get the A examples link from Google. This is the problem statement. I am to say your bot should search Google by itself and retrieve this URL. So any ideas, guys, how automation works in such use cases? So each problem is a learning path. So I will have a human way, I'll have the bot way. So I want to get this link as human. What I would do, I would go to Google. This would be my first step. And then once I go to the search engine, I would say AA examples. Once I get my, see, I'm human, so I have vision skills and typing skills. So if I perform a mistake, I can handle my exceptions. Automation, anywhere, examples. Sorry, excuse me with the spelling. So out of this, I'm just trying to find the links where so in the search, my link might exist or might not exist, but I have to come to this particular link and do this copy link address, and then finally decide I should be able to read this and know, yeah, so I'm able to get that link. So this entire journey has to be automated. So I would leave this example to you, write human way and then bot way. And if the automation anywhere is installed on your machine, the second step is to find out which commands in automation anywhere will suffice your steps and which variables you might require, and does your application need some conditioning like this, like if else kind of thing. Yeah, take that as an assignment. If the platform is installed, please go through the commands which are listed here, all the commands which are listed here. And that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed your session. Please come back with the doubts tomorrow. The problem with the video recording is, they are very lengthy, so they're taking time to convert. So I'm trying to convert as quick as possible. So once they are done, they will be available to you on Drive. I'll make sure it is done. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Good night, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Reddy.
I'm closing the session.